will be no peace in my wake.
This might not be ideal. I don't know why Pascal has so much fucking range.
Hold on.
Time to slaughter someone.
Really? I can't see him from here?
Oh, the storm approaches.
Okay.
Here we go.
I am your blade and shield.
My faith strengthens me.
Scared yet? This is unacceptable. Faith without deeds is... Show me what you've got.
Let's make it quick.
Oh no, fuck.
To it. Let's get to it. Out of my way. Hold on. Ah! Here we go.
Behold my artistry! Ah, another one is shattered. Let's see. Ah, fate claims another one.
Let's get to it.
The fuck?
Let's get to it.
High momentum.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Let's make it quick. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
A wicked, predictable downfall.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Rejoice in battle! None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
It will be done.
Out of my way.
Death is a blessing. Eradicated.
what lies beyond.
Anti-aircraft battery certainly was constructed a long time ago, long before the colonization of the world began. It comes as no surprise that the insurgents were barely able to operate it. Modern arms protocols are incomprehensible to the machine spirits of such an ancient construction. Destroy it. Blast consumes the ancient weapon. The Skybound City is safe for flying again.
One step at a time, amidst the madness. Curiosity sings in my veins.
Adeptus RBTs, baby!
Arbitrators, secure perimeter. Formation 4755. Glato, heal.
A powerfully built man among the fighters quickly surveys the battlefield. His face, determined and impassive, recalls those seen on statues of heroes of the Imperium. His gaze remains trained on you as he raises an iron fist. A huge cybermassive immediately stops snarling in your direction and goes quiet at his master's foot. Its stillness is punctuated only by the thick globules of blood dripping from its metal fangs.
Proctor Exactant Solomon Antha of the Adeptus Arbates. State your name and the purpose of your stay on Rykadamanoris.
His voice is calm, and yet his finger remains firmly positioned on the trigger of his weapon. Abelard, what makes this man think he can demand anything of me?
His being a member of the Adeptus Arbates, I presume. One might say such a tone is an attribute of their occupation, your lordship. Proctor, Before you stands rogue trader von Valancius, the Emperor's anointed and bearer of the sacred warrant. As for his lordship's business on this planet, I'm afraid you do not have the authority to demand an answer. I would ask that you treat the Lord Captain with the same respect that you gave Lady Theodora. The late Lady Theodora.
So, Theodora von Valancius is dead. I will deliver this tragic news to Marshal Strax. I honor the pact your predecessor made with the Adeptus Arbites. I won't keep you any longer.
What was the nature of the relation between the Arbites and Theodora?
Your predecessor made a formal alliance with us. She provided us with a headquarters on Dargonis and supported us in the collection and guarding of the Imperial tithe on several occasions. We, in turn, assisted Lady Theodora in enforcing the law on the worlds under her control.
What are you and your people doing here?
Removing obstructions to an official inquiry. My unit and I came here to investigate the disappearance of one particularly valuable ship, but the mutinous scum got in the way. Now we are having to deal with them too.
What do you know about the situation on the planet?
Only that the governor is failing in his responsibilities. This is a planet-wide rebellion, and it reeks of madness, or worse, of witchcraft. The rebels are blinding both themselves and others, and their ravens are the most insane and unholy thing I've ever heard.
Are you not supposed to help the governor regain control over this world? I thought that maintaining order was the foremost duty of any arbitrator.
Not every uprising demands action by the Adeptus Arbites. For now, I'm simply assessing the situation, and if our investigation requires that the rebellion be crushed, then we will intervene. Still, the governor had best put a stop to this bedlam. He is not here to just sit and look pretty.
What's this about a mission ship?
It's about a tithe ship. A vessel loaded to the brim with planetary tithes, amassed over a considerable period, suddenly went dark as soon as it departed Rykad Minoris.
And what does the stolen tithe entail?
Resources that every world is under obligation to relinquish for the good of the Imperium. In the case of Rykad Minoris, they include the ceramite and explosive reagents produced on Rykadi Philia, armor glass, medical supplies, and guardsmen. A living tithe to be recruited into the regiments of the Astra Militarum. Cargo like that is particularly dangerous in the hands of heretics, as it can be easily converted into wealth or used for military purposes.
That is one fearsome-looking dog. I was impressed by its performance in battle.
That skirmish just now, Glato didn't even get to show off a tenth of what he is capable of. But he is quickly catching up with me for who's killed the most heretics today.
What do you dare to do next?
Fight our way to the local administratum palace and ascertain whether a fire or some other disaster hasn't destroyed the documents related to the investigation. I hope the clerks were smart enough to put the records before their lives. If the Emperor favors us, we will extract the data we need, or else interrogate the survivors before we pay a visit to the governor. The questions we have for him are beginning to pile up.
Simon Bastel lets out a low growl and leans forward somewhere to the side. Solomon fires a shot in the same direction without even looking. You hear a stifled, gurgling rattle.
Arbitrators, eliminate the surviving rebels. Now is not the best time for conversations. The target practice standing around like this. Unless you have more questions, I will proceed with my assignments.
So the governor is suspect.
Every citizen of this planet is a suspect, but Governor Medina is under particular scrutiny. Seizing the sacred tithe requires access to information, resources, and power. The governor fits that profile. Then there's this rebellion. Convenient. How many records and crucial witnesses do you think will be lost? Some people might call it a cover-up. I do not like how aptly this term describes the present situation.
I'm on my way to the governor myself. You and your unit could accompany me.
I must refuse. Our mission and the Marshal's orders take priority, even over a request from an individual as empowered as you.
I have no more questions.
May the Emperor watch over us. That way, this meeting won't be our last.
Alright.
So that is how servants of the law operate. Such coordination. Such a wealth of scarlet and gold.
Their dance of blood is more akin to a march. And yet, I sense a kinship in our drive to execute those who offend the undying Emperor.
Some 10 people, children among them, are huddling together in fear. You see that half of them have black holes where their eyes used to be. Some maintain a gloomy silence, others are wailing. Several armed insurgents are carefully watching over the terrified hostages, snapping every now and then at someone for shaking too much or crying too loudly. Come to your senses, Arlid! Look at what you're doing to your own family! A woman about 60, grey-haired but so strong I fucked up the voice, is kneeling before a stocky man with a thick, pure white beard, stretching her arms towards him. Take pity on us, let us go! Stop talking and embrace redemption. Our children have gained true sight while you still believe the lie. Upon seeing you, the man points his weapon at you. The insurgents do the same. Who are you, and why are you here? Are all these people your family? All of my adopted and blood children are here. I raised them as well as my own. And I must protect them, help them see. His mind and soul are pierced by shards of colorful deception. Hues one twisted by despair, and Imperium's influence can never be the same again. Layperson, cognition is not your primary function. You are saved by your kin by holding them at gunpoint and believe that burning their eyes will grant them sight. It is evident that the author of the demagogue teaching that confused you meant to make a mockery of your deplorable intellect. To cast your own children into this thrall of heresy. To drown your progeny in this filth with your own hands. I remember when the vizier used to sew our eyes shut so that his young spinners would see the truth. Cabela's voice sounds hollow, but there are glowing embers of fury in her eyes. Our ritual was one of service to him. It tempered and prepared us for duty. What you are working here is a despicable heresy, a blasphemous mockery of our sacred disciplines. What are you trying to save them from, and who is behind all of this? At Aurora's behest, Aurora's great prophet and great warrior. Their face is shrouded, but their gaze pierces the veil of time and sees into the future. I have always known the governor's dogs were hiding the truth from us, and now the day has come. A prophet has come to Rykard Minoris and opened our eyes. The end of the world is coming, the final dawn, and only those who accept Aurora's truth will survive it. Who are you? And what are you doing to these unfortunates? I am the chief. Former name Harold. This is meaningless now. I am a father, leading his family to deliverance from woes, to salvation. Aurora has opened my eyes to the truth, and my children will see it. Excuse me. Harold, spare us! Spare your children! You have been torturing your own family in order to save them. You have been blinding them so they could see the truth. Those who lack faith cannot grasp the truth and will not be saved. The old man is obstinate, but you sense that the confidence in his voice has diminished. You believe the heretic lies? You sold your soul to the archenemy? But if you renounce his path, you will still have a chance to be truly saved. The old man sighs heavily. I don't need your mercy. Protect my family. As for my own fate, I place it in your hands. Ooh. He is corrupted. I mean, by standards of the Imperium, he is technically a heretic, so I should shoot him. Fuck, I'm gonna kill this dude. Your family will be taken care of. As for you, I condemn you to death. The old man's body falls to the ground as soon as the hostages see it. They start moving faster and soon disappear around the bend. Heresy? In my Imperium? No, sir. Ooh, a bolt pistol. Nice. Darling, you need a bolt pistol. You can have that. You know, I'll give you the officer chainsaw as well. I'm wondering if we should get that at Cabela. It's close enough to the same. You're not a sniper, right? But this should help you? Single shots and dry shots. But then at the same time, that 5% damage is nice. Armor against warp damage. Alright, come on then. Actually, this will be better for you. I'll give Abelard this. Ooh, actually, what does Abelard have right now? That's actually pretty good. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Wait, what? Okay.
Genius triumphs. What is that? In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Okay.
there will be no peace in my wake.
Command center's over that way. What's up here, actually? Anything up here? Something down here, maybe? No. Ah, that's blocked. Okay. You can't get here normally anyway. Okay, that's fine. Wait! Go to the command center,
What lies beyond?
deal with the governor.
Now that the heresy of rebellion has engulfed this entire world, no walls will offer shelter from his furious judgment.
Indeed. Our only option is to fight to the last drop of blood and secure victory for the glory of the Emperor, or to die in the attempt.
The tall, dark-skinned man turned towards you and greets you in a curt military manner. Faisal Riccardi Ab Medine of Caronis, Governor of the Star System, welcome to my temporary headquarters. The man's gaze falls on Abelard, his eye is slightly narrow. Versarian. Abelard draws dryly. Governor Medine, my greetings. The governor's expression changes drastically when he sees Cassia. Lady Navigator, what an honor! Never thought the House of Celia would grace us with our world with a visit. I only wish I could have received you under better circumstances. Cassia purses her lips, and an echo of grief knocks the wind out of those present. House of Celia is grateful for the support that you have provided to Yurak 5 these many years. Then the governor notices Kemal's clothes and his eyes go wide. He adds softly and cautiously, "This woman, she is your bodyguard, I presume? Or is she here too?" He stops, choosing how to finish this question. "I'm not seeing a convoy sent to meet you. What happened? Did they fail to find and escort you? If that is so, I promise you their punishment will be swift and severe." What a curious exchange of pleasantries. Is there some kind of discord between you and Abelard? No, of course not. An old misunderstanding. Over a century old now. It isn't worth your time, Lord Captain. The convoy was ambushed and massacred. The only surviving soldier turned out to be a traitor and was personally executed by me. That is an outrage. I will have the personnel vetting procedure changed immediately. The slightest suspicion would be grounds for arrest. Your Lordship, before we proceed discussing the matters that are of interest to you, there is a question I feel compelled to ask. Recently, that Lady Theodora was head of the House von Valancius. I have received no word of her demise. How is it that you are now a rogue trader? My esteemed predecessor died at the hands of cultists. May the Emperor incinerate their souls. The governor frowns and a deep shadow falls over his face. Rogue trader von Valancius, slain? Unthinkable. Please accept my deepest and most sincere condolences, Your Lordship. Do not hesitate to let me know how I might be of help. I need a fresh crew to replace those killed in the attack on my ship, and I need material compensation. The governor bows his head in acceptance. Of course, Your Lordship. You will be compensated for any losses, and I see to it personally that your ship's holds are filled with the finest goods from your personal reserves. Abelard nods in approval and remarks quietly, "Excellent. Excellent, Your Lordship. A rogue trader has no use for leniency. I can offer you several thousand fine obedient servants. However, I am sad to inform you that I won't be able to do it until we've dealt with the insurgency of the planet. I'm sure you won't have to wait long. The rabble will soon be duly punished for their heretical scheming." I am so confident you'll curse the instruction soon. My own impression has been the exact opposite. Is that so? The governor maintains his composure. I'd like to hear your reasoning. Well, the rioters are too well organized, too well informed, and too well armed. There are signs of indoctrination into heretical beliefs. They are clearly being directed by someone competent and charismatic. Governor, you're dealing with an arch-enemy cult that is growing at an alarming rate. The governor's eyes darken, but your unwavering gaze makes him give in. All right, all right. Perhaps I've underestimated the mutiny, writing it off as Rabble's usual nonsense. However, if it does involve corruption in underground cult, it needs to be investigated. I'll assign additional resources to it and take the issue seriously. You have my word, your lordship. I wish to commend the courage of one of your officers, Sergeant Malga. He and soldiers valiantly defended the starport. The sergeant who managed to impress a person of such noble standing will be recommended for decoration. My kinsman, Conrad Boypia von Valencius, has betrayed our dynasty and the Imperium. If he is hiding in the system, I want him handed over to me. Boypia is a traitor? Why, any family, however noble, has an unworthy scion or two. Naturally, we will surrender him should we find him within my jurisdiction. Unfortunately, I have no information regarding his location. However, the governor pauses to think. We have a closet here at the command center. It's connected to a data crypt from Lodge's Able Sanctum. It's aggregated all the mechanic reports. Unfortunately, the access prior for it is unknown to me. If you manage to convince a stubborn machine, you might learn something about Kunrad's movements. It has indeed fled from you on a ship, not pair of wings. Heinrich von Kallax, interrogator of the Most Holy Inquisition, is operating in your system. Do you know where he is? The governor lowers his voice. I do. Master von Kallax has left for the hallowed electrodynamic Cenobium. It's an ancient monastery of the Adeptus Mechanicus. I don't know what his objectives are. Needless to say, insurgent activity has been observed in the monastery's vicinity. But I suppose that is too petty of a problem for an agent of the Most Holy Inquisition. Besides, I've already sent a small detachment of reinforcements there. The weapon the insurgents were using to shoot down the shuttles over the city has been destroyed. Now, nothing's preventing you from returning to your ship. If you wish to find Master von Kallax, you should go to the Cenobium at the Adeptus Mechanicus. Notes of anxiety creep into the voice that rattled from Pascal's voice box. On behalf of the priesthood of Mars, I, Megas Hanuman, I need to get this name correct. I keep fucking up the pronunciation. It's Hanuman? I think it's Hanuman, yeah? He said it out loud, but I can't remember how it goes now. I, Megas Hanuman, I'm officially initiating my participation in the operation. I must inspect the state of the relic. I show myself that is under zero risk of falling into heretic hands. According to the Catechism of Maintenance and Operation, my tech comrades were supposed to lock the monastery gates as against lay people and activate the traps. I deem it optimal that an ordained magos should provide his assistance. I categorically object. The governor tensions his fist. As much as I respect the sanctity of your monastery, I have on my hands a whole capital that needs to be attended by the Omnissiah's servants. We have lost many eminent tech priests. Incidentally, one of them perished in that same monastery. Mechanical failures could occur at any moment. Putting it bluntly, you may consider yourself forcibly recruited into the city's defense forces. Medine and Pascal glare at each other, their unyielding gazes like crossed swords. You've pictured an interest in trying to quarrel with the servant of the Omnissiah, Governor. A critical situation calls for divisive action. I cannot lend every learned tech priest to go to their death the moment they hear about an endangered relic. I need people who can do more than praise the Omnissiah to look after the capital and its millions of citizens. This Magos is part of my retinue. You're not ready to give him orders. You mistake me for a fool. And though to hear I separately from you, I would bet my life that no. This is the kind of problem that we have with this situation here. The governor's voice dies down in the low growl of a drilling mechadendrite. Its tip is directed as straight at the bridge of his nose. Medine clears his throat and grumbles stubbornly. So, this is the negotiation technique you have resorted to? Do you think this is the first time I've been threatened with a weapon? No, but this could be your last. Pascal's voice is akin to the sound of produced by his drilling implement, steady and calm, but ready to explode at a moment's notice with a crunching of bone and a squelching of tearing flesh. I am heading to the monastery because I must. Is that clear? The governor mutters through gritted teeth. Abundantly so, Magos. Do not interfere. Your Lordship, I trust that you will grant me a place aboard your shuttle. The Adeptus Mechanicus would be grateful for your cooperation. As compensation for your consideration of my request, I, Magos Hanuman, officially undertake to accompany you in the right guard system in the role of bodyguard and to protect you at all costs until your lifestyle functions cease, but only within the limits of the right guard system. Yo, Hanuman? Glad you're alive. The governor raises his eyebrow and stares at the tech priest in surprise, but refrains from further commentary. What has perplexed you about my companion's name? The governor looks at Pascal with curiosity. According to the reports we received, Logis Abel Hanuman set off for the hallowed electrodynamic Cenobium a short while before it was stormed. I'm glad to find that you're out safe. Perhaps you possess information on Master von Kellogg's. Pascal's vox rasps in confusion. My name is Pascal Hanuman, not Abel. I know nothing about such a person. What do you know about this Abel, Governor? I've never met him in person. That esteemed Logis supervised work of Recombinatus Lex Mechanicus for years. However, he rarely left his cyber chapel, and never had the honor of making his acquaintance. A true anchorite. Why did he fly to the monastery? That seems suspicious. When the Logis of the Adeptus Mechanicus wants to go somewhere, we don't ask why, your lordship. Where can I get my information on this individual? I would suggest that you inspect the esteemed Logis sanctum, but it was destroyed by the rebels. We've recovered several data crypts and connected them to the cogitators of the command post. They might provide you with some information. It is amazing that a mechanical voice from a box can sound so confused. That name might have been used as a signal intelligible only to its intended recipient. In that case, the bearer might be an Archmagos Amonat, initiating an investigation and data collection procedure. I see. Glad to be your service, Lordship. That's all I wanted to discuss. The Adeptus are just what? Assuming control of the area? Command of the area. The arbitrator marches forward relentlessly and halts one step away from the governor, looking down at him. Governor Medine, in the name of the Lex Imperialis, I, Dr. Solomon Anther, arrest you on suspicion of involvement in the theft of the shipment of the Imperial tithe. Taking into account the state of the emergency on this planet, I will permit you to retain your authority under my direct supervision. From this time forth, you will give the Adeptus Arbites your full cooperation, in particular by transferring command of the strike groups and other resources to me. Medine, though deathly pale, proudly raises his chin. Arrest me? Transfer my resources? Your demands undermine my efforts to suppress the rebellion. Excuse me, Proctor, but this accusation of stealing the sacred tithe is simply... He stops talking under the arbitrator's oppressive, merciless gaze. Denying guilt only adds to the suspicion against you, Governor. Now, let us go over everything one more time. The tithe was stolen from your world. You are culpable for this incident, whether you are personally involved or not. You will provide the resources I have requested without obligation, as this measure serves to re-establish control over the planet. Comply, or I will consider your refusal an obstruction of the investigation and take steps accordingly. It seems I am left with no other option than to obey your will. As his law-abiding servant, I honor the word of the Lex Imperialis. Medine shoots you a quick glance, unless his lordship has anything to say on the matter, that is. I would never think to oppose a servant of the Lex. The governor puts his hands behind his back, either to appear more confident or to hide the tremor in his fingers. In that case, please accommodate yourself, Proctor. But before I give you the access codes, I must give a protracted self-exonerating statement. There's no need. All information required will be obtained during questioning. Without witnesses, be it your personal guard or the rogue trader, just you, me, and Glato. The cyber massive lets out a heavy growl that sends a shiver down your spine. What is your plan, Proctor? Stop the heretics from taking over the starport, and location critical to the investigation. At the same time, we will crush the heretics' resistance. Most of them are hiding among the commoners, and a series of concentrated attacks against residential districts with infirmaries will send them running. That is when we will finish off the rebel carrion. Blood of the throne, I'll be governing over nothing but ruins and corpses by the time you're done. Have faith in my methods, Governor. I'm not going to depopulate your world. After all, he needs to be able to continue paying the tithe. Why the rebels are hiding among the civilians? They could have shelters elsewhere. I know this from a few Vox exchanges and a couple of scumbags we've interrogated. But first and foremost, I know from experience. Such mutinous rabble always feeds on its families and associates, who also provide a source of recruits and supports its ranks. And of course, there is the heretics' contemptible habit of using the local population as a shield. We need to flush them out of their nests and starve them of resources. A sound plan, Proctor. Only harsh measures can restore order. Sloan gives a slight nod. Better to cut off the hand than to let the infection take over the whole body. I wish you luck in your investigation, Proctor. Ooh, leveled up. Fucking go. Okay. Yeah, we're blowing shit up before anything else happens. Okay. Fuck it, let's spin. Okay, here we go. So this one, execution immediately inflicts bleeding on an ally of their choice, including themselves. They gain this plus 1 bonus to dodge. Until the start of the next turn, execution gains bonuses to parameters for each creature and your ally in combat. Remember the following damage. Yeah, fuck it. We'll go gift a tournament. I like that. Alright, Vanguard. I like defensive stance a lot. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go. You want kick. You want to intersperse kick with stuff, so. Grand Strategist. Point of curiosity, baby. Displacement is a powerful effect. Alright. This cogitator looks a lot older and more worn than the one that's next to it. However, it has evidently been well cared for by numerous parts have been replaced. Not a single key is jammed, and fresh seals of prayers to the Omnissiah adorn its surface. One side of the panels has been removed. Bundles of gold-notched cables run from inside to a small data crypt that was connected only a short while ago. The screen reads, awaiting access codes. Force access to the cogitator. You have bypassed the security layers. The cogitator is ready to reveal its secrets. Vasquez leans forward and runs his fingers over the keys. The cogitator's screen blinks and responds with strings of unknown characters. I appeal to the machine spirit to open Logus Abel's personal archives as well. It has accepted my request. Go to Logus Private Archive. Result, Logus Abel's data trance. I cannot see the secret design, but I can sense it and shackle it in stasis. The minds of the initiated are slumbering in neural harness of their vows. I am registering an impulse of change. I surmise a potential influence on the stasis of the secret design. There came a time when a spiral was turned into a circle, but the cycle can be discontinued. The revelation granted by the Omnissiah to Logus Abel in the course of his data meditation has been recorded verbatim. Logus Abel is seeking an audience with the venerable Adar Impulse 6, who may assist in interpreting the revelation. A request has been sent to the Governor's Palace for a shuttle flight to the electrodynamic Cenobium. A message has also been sent to the Furibundus system. The cycle can be discontinued. I recognize these words. The voice from the Vox is soft and pensive and barely audible over the static noise. I believe I know the intended recipient of the message in the Furibundus system. It was me. Omnissiah, grant me the wisdom to fathom this mystery. Sacred computation. Upon Logus Abel's orders, the archives of every augustation on Rykard Minoris and the two primary satellites of Rykard Star have been queried. Said satellites are named Magos Maruf and Zarief the Keen, after two great champions of the faith, whose external cogitators were placed inside the satellite's cores after their shells perished. The purpose of the sacred computation requested by the Logis is to uncover the external influence behind the ongoing insurgency. Computational result, positive. Multiple instances of interference and malfunctions detected, suggesting that the ships moving across the system deliberately blinded the sacred augure's eyes. The first of these ships is thought to have arrived 2 Rykard Minoris cycles ago, early in the winter. The most recent one arrived a month ago. Logus Abel's conclusion, the insurrection on the planet had been long in the making, with the participation of several external factors. It is alleged that 2 cycles ago, Aurora arrived in the Rykard system. The rumored unholy prophet of the insurgents. The subsequent ship movements can be attributed to weapon deliveries. But what is the nature of the activity on Rykard Philia? Governor Meditate's attention must be drawn to. The final entry cuts off abruptly. Recent observations. Satellite Magos Maruf reports that a ship translated into the system is signature consisting with the records of a flagship of a rogue trader dynasty, House von Valencius. The satellite Zerife the Keen reports that a ship drifting nearby has hardly sped away. The ship had been sent an encrypted Vox transmission to the insurgent controlled areas on the surface of Rykard Minoris. Another transmission was directed to the planetoid Rykardi Philia. Both transmissions were signed Bella Twilight. Their contents could not be decrypted. Will be investigated. The entry contains planet-side coordinates marked as heavy augustation jamming, possibly a hidden insurgent base. We'll leave. Will we talk to the proctor? Talk to Medine? Greetings, your lordship. That's the governor in a dismissal voice, glancing reflectively. Governor, you didn't steal the ship, did you? Not you, too. I swear on the Golden Throne and the Pact of All Martyrs, I have never considered committing such an act. Please, your lordship, do not insult me with such suspicions. What I wanted to discuss. All right.
One step at a time amidst the madness.
Back to the void ship. Alright guys, I'm going to go for a quick cigarette. I shall return shortly. Stick around. And I'm hoping you're finding my performances acceptable. and entertaining enough. Again, you guys are more than welcome to use the chat if you want to. Hopefully I will see all the chats. Yeah, anyway, shall return shortly. Stick around or see you guys later. Alright, now we're back. Okay, so when I get Hendrix, who do I send back? I guess Abelard? Or maybe Cabela. Nah, Cabela's too good to have. Yeah, I'll present Abelard back now. Alright. Because Cabela's just too overpowered as a character.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
For those of you watching, I want to be very clear about something. My playthrough, I am extremely overpowered. I have stats I shouldn't have. I have equipment I shouldn't have. This is purely for narrative and for me to try my hand at voice acting. So be warned that what I am doing in this game is not indicative of an actual proper playthrough that most of you would engage in.
Patience.
I just want you guys to be
Afraid.
aware of that. When out at him awakens the gate's latching mechanisms. I'll also be getting more XP than normal, so I'll be leveling up much faster. So just keep that in mind as we go through this game. I'll be playing this until I finish the game. And it's just for the sake of the narrative and the story and just my being able to just perform. So I want you guys to not take what I'm doing as gospel of what's going to be happening later.
There will be no.
Glory be to the current of the motive force. May its dulcet light shine in our noospheric coronas. May its vitality nourish our augments. May its purity wash over our imperatives and engrams.
As far as I am aware, the monastery supplies power to several major hive cities on Rykad. Hidden somewhere in the depths of this building is a reactor of monstrous, unfathomable power.
We could go this way and deal with the electro priests, or we get Heinrichs. You know what? Let's do this first. A tech priest's body rests on a metal table, surrounded by sparking spirals of copper coil. A patina of sacred unguents covers his withered flesh. His augmetics have been polished with great care. Intricate electros cover the dead man's crossed arms and bare torso. Oh, tattoos, right. And strands of wires envelop his head. Pascal respectfully bows his head before the dead man and carefully touches the shriveled body with the tip of his megadendrite. Honored adherent, I thank you for showing us the truth of the fabricator General Provoca's maximum. Death does not end in service of spirit driven. Examine the body. The body seems motionless, but you notice a slight tremor in the fingertips. This ancient servant of the Omnissiah must be data dreaming. His mind, enveloped in digital reverie, can persist for hundreds of thousands of years while his frail body is decaying. This sacred state of trance is a great reward only earned by the wisest and most pious servants of the machine god. Such purity of color. I've never seen anything like it. Deep tranquility shrouded in cool white cloud. Such unity of thought and spirit. The dead are incapable of exuding such hues. Next to the table the body is resting on, you see a small amulet crafted from burned cogitator circuit boards. There is no dust on these small offerings. They were clearly left here recently. Can you hear me, Tech Priest? Light in the crypt becomes a little brighter and sharper. The smell of ozone fills the air. The box of the ceiling comes alive and lets forth a solemn binaric aria that turns into a crackling, solemn voice. In this dark hour, I am ready to bring you good tidings, Tech Brethren. Now respond with the words of the second galvanic hymn. The second galvanic hymn is revered and a miraculous prayer of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Naturally, you know it very well. Let us praise the twin charges, the body electric, and the omniscire who lights the spark of reason within us. Let us carry his charge to those who have turned their minds towards his light. Let it be so indeed. The monastery is under attack by heretics. Can you help? In my data dream, I saw their unholy requests and rejected them angrily. For it is said in the 4th article of security, no unbeliever's hand shall intrude upon the operation cycle. They have seditious designs on the relic. But should I give you who does not belong to our faith and fellowship and blessings to stand up to the blasphemers? I may not be a member of your priesthood, but you and I are of the same faith. This statement is true. The 1st article of security says, fear above all evils, the defilement of knowledge. And thus its command outweighs the prohibition contained in the 6th article of security, let knowledge be locked away from the ignorant. So be it. In the name of the shaming of the unbelievers, I grant you the blessing of special access and protection from the rage of the motive force. Dry crackling sounds come from inside the crypt's walls as awakened cogitators process the ancient tech priest's command. Okay. So shock damage now does half damage, which is basically what we're going to be running into a little later. Do we trigger the Electro Priests now? Yeah, there they are. You should be purified by the motive force, Blasphemer. Cassia, my love. Step forth. Oh, that guy's safe. Damn. Okay. At least we can get you two.
As the tactical imperative dictates.
Sorry, Pascal.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. Doubt is for the weak.
The dead know nothing, and neither do the ignorant.
Well, we know they're here, but we can't go there. But I just wanted to dispatch those guys as soon as possible.
What lies beyond?
Oh. Goods, hello. Oh. The gorgeous green screen lights up as you approach it and displays flashing message. Pilgrim, only words of the first galvanic hymn will reveal to you the gifts hidden behind the veil of knowledge. Now chant with me. Let us sing this canticle too. The device's keyboard lights up, clearly expecting you to answer the rest of the verse. Pascal, can you remind me how this hymn goes? Pascal's voice lets out a noisy groan as if he's clearing his throat, but then stops abruptly. After a brief pause, he averts his gaze and says in a rasping voice, "It is not known to me. Only high-ranking servants of the shrines of the energetic prosperity are permitted to perform the first galvanic hymn." Abelard snorts and struggles to suppress an involuntary smile. "Emperor, help us all. The esteemed Magos has been caught not knowing a prayer, and he's now floundering like a cadet in an exam. I never thought I'd see the day." I'm trying to remember how this went. Okay, let's see. Omnisire from Holy Discharge, bring it forth. Verse 2 calls to you, Pilgrim. Let us fill our souls with gratitude toward the arcane key that closeth the circuit. Now finish this prayer, Pilgrim. May the unity of the sacred power charge. May the unity of the sacred charge's power immortal reason that hath created the spark. So by high true comes cogitator. Verily so. A pilgrim who has learnt our ways is worthy of the gifts of the enlightened. Ooh, hey! How's this currently against your arc rifle that you have? Oh, it's pretty much the fucking same. Okay. Well, that could be good for you, actually. We can't access this part yet because this is blocked off. Because we can't access this yet either. We need to do the other part to do that.
Yes, indeed. They all will see.
Alright, Van Calox. Come here, you slut.
I'm not satisfied with that answer. I will repeat my question again. The last Electro-Priest you killed, where did you find him?
Burn in the fire of dawn, servant of the corpse emperor!
Another one meets the limit of his utility. The last of them.
The tall, dark-haired man sizes you up with a quick glance. A supernatural chill is making the air around him crackle softly. The expensive fabric of his jacket is stitched with gold thread and marked by several reddish-brown stains. A force sword and a vox hangs from his belt, and the emblem of the Holy Inquisition glitters on his chest. The Emperor protects.
And in this, we must be like him. My greetings to you, fellow servant of the Master of Mankind. I am Interrogator Heinrichs van Kalox of the Imperial Inquisition's esteemed Ordo Xenos. With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Rogue trader Nero von Valancius.
Von Valancius? To the best of my knowledge, that dynasty is headed by the esteemed Theodora von Valancius. Has there been a change of circumstances?
Henrix watches your expression closely. Theodora is dead, slain in battle by the enemies of humanity.
The news is lamentable. My condolences. And I presume the heir to the sacred warrant of trade and the lofty title of Rogue Trader is none other than yourself. Well then, what precisely has brought you to the sanctum of the Omnissiah?
I'm here to collect you. I'm under orders for the Lord Inquisitor to offer any assistance you may require, after which I'm to provide you safe passage to footfall aboard my ship.
Then the timing of our meeting is fortuitous. I am requisitioning you and your retinue for my task. Starting with her. You have provided exactly the kind of specialist that this situation requires.
Hendrix nods at Cabela.
I am the Domin's shadow. If he says the word, I will protect you. If he says the word, I will take you to the Undying One.
Cabela regards him coldly.
Requisitioning? Young man, your choice of words is unseemly to the point of insult. You're addressing a rogue trader.
I don't imagine you'll be any happier if I say taking into inquisitorial custody.
Hendrix grasps an apprehensive glance at Abelard.
To aid his faithful servant in the fight against corruption is the solemn duty of all whose actions affect millions of the Imperium subjects. Let your example guide those who will carry the Emperor's light across 1,000 stars.
You are familiar with the works of Inquisitor Alistar the Redeemer. Not every acolyte can say the same, let alone people less initiated. Please forgive my lapse in manners, Lady Navigator Orselio. It is a great honor.
Hendrix arches an eyebrow, examining the coat of arms on Cassia's clothes.
I came to Rykad Minoris on a mission, which a rebellion prevented me from fulfilling. The governor is convinced that malcontents from among the rabble were the instigators, but I immediately suspected a more sinister presence at the root of the mutiny. My visit to the monastery and a few unhurried conversations with some of the rebels confirmed my suspicions.
Hendrix glances at the dead body at his feet.
Someone by the name of Aurora is leading the rebellion. Data indicates that the head of the cultists is here right now, in the sanctum of the ancient reactor. Given the prophecy of the Final Dawn, and the special efforts made by the enemies of humanity to seize the monastery, their goal is to gain access to the Holy Power Source's control circuit and trigger a process that, once started, cannot be stopped. In other words, to detonate the reactor, thus being themselves the cause of their much-touted Final Dawn.
Blasphemous insanity.
The tech priest's visor flashes and turns a bloody scarlet. A soft hum of some activating systems is heard from under his robe. As Heinrich von Kalox speaks, you suddenly notice the way he is looking at you, with his eyes slightly narrowed, as if he's peering into your soul, a soul that is touched by the gift of sorcery. The change in expression does not escape Interrogator's notice. As you see the corner of his mouth twitch, you must have instantly recognized a fellow psycho. Precisely what were you doing at the monastery?
I arrived here with an escort squad, only to lose it in our very first open skirmish. The monastery is swarming with heretics. The soldiers I requisitioned from the governor fell in battle, bled to death, or deserted. I had to make do with catching and forcefully interrogating individual rebels. It is from them that I learned what I relayed to you just now.
What did you do to him?
I convinced him to cooperate. I can influence living bodies, and I find that the interrogated are much more eager to share information once the blood starts to boil in their veins.
I can help you with Aurora. Let's join forces.
Thank you. Regrettably, the governor's people showed themselves to be unprepared for the perils of this place. And extracting blade shards from a person's stomach is beyond my powers. I hope that a rogue trader's retinue will prove more capable than a group of soldiers fresh off the base. I am positive that not all of the electro-priests within these walls have perished. The heretics spoke of shadows emerging from side alleys to make short work of the cultists invading their abode. I surmise that the entrance to their hiding place is somewhere in the hall, near a machine known as the Circular Cogitator. I imagine it's one of the local sacred relics which the electro-priests treat with special piety.
Okay, Abelard, you're out. Cassia, you're staying. I should have gotten Calyx first so we can get that buff as well. Okay. He's already a Sanctic Psyker, so... toughness. Like a Minoris. I don't really use that much though. You know what? Taunting Stream. That could be fun. Skill. Browse. Do I want an Overseer? No, he's go Vanguard again. Okay. Okay, I can give you this. Sure, fuck it. For that. Yep, that's fine. Armor-wise, what are you wearing right now? 25%? There's 35. Weapons-wise, instead of this... you can have the forehammer instead. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Righto, let us get on with it. Oh, what is this? Ah! We do love loot in this game. Ooh, a charge staff. That'd be fun. The problem here is the electricity. Oh, we got ambushed. Cassia, darling, I'm gonna need you to get the fuck out of this location here.
Cross my gaze.
Out of my way!
As duty demands.
Function successfully terminated.
Let's see.
Currently, where is the shocking happening? Ooh, it's gonna come here next. Fuck. Okay. Ah, fuck it. Fire it on the line. Didn't kill him, but he is on fire. Ah, I should have used press the advantage. It's bad. Argenta might actually no. I can get further than that. Get Argenta here. Get your hit anyway from here? Oh. Oh, okay.
Chaos guides me.
Jabba, darling, need you here. She can't get further than that? No, she can't. Hendrix, you got a whole position there. Because I can't guarantee your safety. Yeah, see? Okay, so Cassia.
Death to the weak. I serve the ruinous powers!
He's gonna be dead before I do anything else, isn't he?
Explore to Stone 1 route. Forward.
Okay. What am I gonna hold here? Okay. Now that we know the areas of safety, we're gonna move up now. Nobody can do shit there. We can't even... Wait, we can get to the cover. We can break this cover. Color me curious. Never mind. Fire in the hole. Ah, yeah, that was too good to be true. So right now, if I just...
Cogitation failed.
Doesn't go that far.
A wicked thought. Curiosity sings in my veins.
Electricity hits us again. Everybody get the fuck out of there. Okay. I have to deal with those guys later. A crowd of cultists has surrounded a tech priest crucified upon a mechanism. A rhythmic whisper repeated by 100 voices blends into some blasphemous enchantment. Powerful discharge of the motive force run through the machine, causing the unfortunate prisoner's body to convulse brutally and forcing woeful cries of pain from his lips. The tech priest's hoarse voice echoes under the ceiling. In clenched jaws of stagnation, in shackles of iteration 0, under the iron wing, let the cycle be discontinued. Pascal's mechadendrites spring into combat mode instantly, and a wrathful rattle comes from his vox. I am registering a severe violation of the purity protocol. The blessed Amarnath has been captured by heretics and is being tortured. Look around the hall. Heretics have taken up positions everywhere, and many are more doctously hiding in the passages leading out of the hall. For now, they are all focused on the sacrilegious torture of the tech priest and do not notice you. We must save the esteemed tech priest without risking his life. Megadetector points to the corpses of heretics lying nearby. We can use the blasphemer's clothing as a disguise. Unrecognized, we can sabotage the power units, overloading them and thus cleansing the hall of heretics. The lightning discharges have charred the cultist corpses. Whiffs of smoke rise from their empty eye sockets, whose contents have evaporated. Their clothes, covered in the blood of innocents, are crudely painted over with the emblems of the arch-enemy, which exude a repulsive air of soul decay. I shudder with disgust at the mere thought of having to touch clothing adorned with such unholy symbols. I don't wear it. This is the first step towards falling, a small compromise with evil that would lead to something greater. Is there truly no other way, Rogue Trader? The signs of the arch-enemy are not just painted symbols, but conductors of its will. The words of their prayers, even spoken without faith, their coat of arms, even deceitfully worn. All this increases the presence of the ruinous powers near you and draws their corrupting attention to you. With a look of revulsion, Kibala picks up one of the rags with the tip of her blade. Nothing but your word, Darman, can make me don this filth. Once we are done, I will scrape my skin clean with a metal brush and bathe it in caustic lye. Cassia stares in horror at the corrupted clothes and the scattered human ashes. Do not make me. If it helps save a worthy man, I will put on cultless clothes. I pray that the Omnissiah gives the blessed Amarnath enough fortitude. Pascal grimaces as a new wail of pain rends the air. 5 minutes. Okay, now we're all in costume. Heretic's garb clings to your skin like a greedy leech. Tingling and foul fever spread over your body as these tatters have imbibed vile contents of their former wearer's soul. Okay then. Right.
Patience! My nerves are frayed!
Distribution servitor. A heavy crown of gold neural augmetics rests upon the servitor's head. The crown is bent and broken from ruthless gun butt blows. The pale body is covered in blasphemous inscriptions carved into withered flesh. Alright, 1 second. Identify this acolyte as a distribution servitor and registering upon his traces of sacrilegious violations of the right of operation. The probability of its responsiveness to commands is below average. Try to restart the ceremony. For the glory of the Omnissiah, let this machine spirit sleep, that it may awaken and serve again. Pascal gently touches the servitor's crown, deactivating one of its segments. Let the outer neural connection circuit be plunged in darkness. Another touch, and several lights on the crown go out. Let the command response hub fall silent. Pascal switches to binaural speech, accompanying his every action with a line from a sacred hymn. It is amazing how the reverent awe in the tech priest's voice can discern even through the rattling box. Suddenly, every light on the servitor's crown comes alive. A shower of sparks bursts from the augmetics on the servitor's brow, and several black, ash-tinted tears run from his empty eye sockets. Ready to serve. Energize the hall's power units to maximum. It will be done. Okay then.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Suddenly I regret giving him the mad voice. The altar is adorned with gilded skulls. The thread of metal that used to be electus are fused to the bone. Once majestic, the altar has now been desecrated with blasphemous images of blue-green suns. Some of its levers and buttons have been pried from their sockets, but the mechanism still glorifies the Omnissiah with its operation. I identify that this as a safety system control altar. For our diversion to succeed, this blessed machine must be executed. May its spirit forever forgive us. Cause the altar to overload. Pascal offers a short binaural prayer that enters a command after command to set up a trap for the machine spirit inhabiting the altar. The code born out of the tech priest's tinkering causes the spirit to flutter confusedly in a snare of impossible commands, heat up on the altar circuit boards, and perish forever in the showers of sparks that burst from the melting wires. May we be granted the omniscience forgiveness for this act and registering a general shutdown of the security system. Okay. A grim-looking heretic walks up to you resolutely, blocking your path as he studies your disguise with suspicion. You know that his left eye has 2 conjoined irises while his right eye has 4. I don't know you. Who are you? And why haven't I met you before? Ooh, interesting. Yeah, let's go with this one. Perhaps the master has blinded your eyes to trifles so that you may behold what is true? Your reply, imbued with mystical significance, was evidently the cultist's liking. He smiles hotly and says, "May our master blind you too, brother." A tech priest's corpse, his throat slit, sits upon a splendid command throne laced with finely wrought motor force parts. A contorted expression of righteous anger is frozen on his face. A black blindfold covers his eyes. This is the Lumideacon's command throne. This is where the power unit, actuation, and shutdown litanies are headed from. The blessed Lumideacon himself has the honor of closing the circuit of the motive force flows through. Pascal, kindly sit down on the throne and recite the litany. Pascal freezes, and a quiet whisper comes from his vox. Request denied. I am not authorized to sit upon the Lumideacon's command throne. Such an act would be considered sacrilege. Pascal, saving the relic and your mentor justifies a minor infraction of the rules. Pascal casts a scrutinizing glance at you, then nods reluctantly. Situation deemed an emergency. I request the omniscience forgiveness for the transgressions about to be committed. The tech priest's body winces from the motive force discharge, but his vox begins to recite the sacred words of the litany as his fingers activate the command runes with precise, unhurried movements. I am recording a successful activation of the power units. Okay, in the meantime, we're going to loot everybody first. Give me all your goodies. Oh, what is this? Nah.
Ooh, another notch!
Excuse me. In the cycles of foreordained, there lurks a flaw of worship. The tech priest's body convulses. Pained, plaintive creaks of binaric prayers come from his vox. As moments pass, the signal becomes less and less clear, as if something twisted and wrong were added to it. Pascal studies the tech priest's face carefully. His vox system moans in a tragic vibrato. Subject unidentified. This is not Blessed Amarnath. Stranger, I request your name. How did you know my mentor's motto? Examine the tech priest. There are deep burns all over his flesh, and the skin around his augmetics are charred. Blasphemous spells have been carved into his sacred iron, forming unholy litanies of scrap code. It is amazing how robust the tech priest's life support systems have improved in maintaining the spark of life in the grievously wounded body. Who are you, servant of the Omnissiah? The fire of the heart sent forth sparks. The name of this spark is Abel Hanuman. The tech priest looks over Pascal for a brief moment. His speech becomes clear. The echo of my call has reached you. Good. The iteration is at its end. The design is fulfilled. What design? Why are you calling yourself by my name? Was it you who summoned me to Rykard Minoris? What for? I categorically demand an answer. Pascal's voice rises to an intimidating howl, but the delirious tech priest does not seem to understand what he is saying. You can talk to him once you get him out of here. A cold premonition rakes the heart. Probabilities are dark and frightening. Brother, I do not wish to gaze into them. We are a flame of knowledge and drives the darkness away. Pascal is quickly inspecting Abel's wounds, paying no mind to the blood of the sacred unguent staining his sleeves. His vox rasps soothingly. Do not fear what is to come, brother. We are already here. Do you know him, Pascal? The subject has not been identified and has no record in my catalogue. Interrogation is impossible due to subject's evident affective state of clouded consciousness. Try to take down the tech priest crucified on the machine. As soon as you touch the tech priest's battered flesh, he shifts his gaze to you and says with sudden clarity, Many sparks have gone out, but not all. The electric shepherds are alive. In the darkness, I heard their prayers. Find them, save them. Recite the hymn of contact spirit restoration so that you may behold what is hidden. A blast of motive force runs down the tech priest's body, and his face contorts in a mocking grimace. Malformed bionic code, repulsively jarring on the gears, pours out of his vox. Information archived to the effect that the Circuit Restorium hymn is the entrance password to the Electro Priest's hiding place. Pascal responds with dour rhythms of containment aria. I note with great sorrow that the cultist ritual has been partially successful. My tech brother has been tainted by corruption. He is in the grip of schismatical and unholy intimidation of a machine spirit. I request immediate activation of the tech sourcism protocol. Tamela gives Pascal a long look, her eyebrow raised in silent question. Pascal responds with an equally long silence then creaks. Oops. Excuse me. Thank you for your cooperation. Request denied. The catechism demands that this act be performed by an authorized unit. I shall help save him. The possessed man responds with a burst of repulsive laughter. Every now and then, a word or two of Gothic finds its way into the binaric obscenities pouring out of his vox. In what seems to be the schismatical tentative forays into a language that is alien to it. His body convulses, his joints twist at unnatural angles with the sound of bursting steel couplings. As the possessed man thrashes about, his internal augments emerge gradually through the hanging tatters of his flesh, as though an iron homunculus hidden inside the tech priest were trying to cast off the meat cocoon it no longer needed. Pascal's mechadendrite extends a drilling needle. Sacred unguent glistens on it. A chord of purification's aria is heard as the needle sinks into the possessed tech priest's skull and touches his neural augmetic, forming an electrical circuit with it. Extreme strain is visible on his face. Furious litanies pour out of his vox. Result, failure, requesting assistance. Send a purifying charge of the motive force in the possessed man's body. May the machine god heal you. Undaunted, you grab one of the severed cables and press it to the tech priest's body, and a shock of formidable power shakes the possessed man. Machine oil gushes out of his mouth. His vox hisses deafeningly as a flow of motive force burns the corruption in his sacred iron. The overload destroys some of the circuit boards of his neural augmetic, resets his code, and erases the schismatical from existence. The tech priest's eyes roll up and he loses consciousness, crushed, yet still alive and no longer in the thrall of corruption. With the utmost care, Pascal takes his body down from the mechanism and lays it on the floor. His stirring litanies of gratitude to the Omnissiah echo through the hall. Rest, tech brother. We will come back for you, and when we have done our duty to the miraculous fusion reactor. Lord Captain, the Omnissiah commands a pious mind to strive towards uncovering the truth. Therefore, I will not stop until I find my mentor and understand his connection to the servant of the machine god. I request the privilege of joining a retinue as a rightful companion. I can offer to fulfill the duties of an engineer on your ship in exchange for the right to follow you and conduct my own investigation. Way! Alrighty then. Cool, okay.
Oh, one step at a time.
Guide my strikes true against the heretics who have encroached upon these halls. Let not one villain escape the God Emperor's retribution delivered by our hands.
Your hues are so vivid, Sister Argenta. The hatred that fuels your words and impulses burns like a supernova.
Okay then. Alright. Oh. Oh, okay. Alright. I am going to go have a cigarette. We shall return shortly. Stick around, or I'll catch you guys in just a bit. So, be right back. Yes, we are continuing to go to the circular cogitator. Continue. Machine also accepts contact circuit. Fuck you know. Fuck it. A shortish, muscular man wearing scarlet colors of the priesthood of Mars steps into your path. The wrinkles on his cheeks and forehead point to his propensity for frequent outbursts of fierce anger. But right now, he is showing no signs of aggression. Glowing bluish patterns of electric tattoos, or electus, show through his oddly bluish tinted skin. A tight bandage covers the man's eyes, yet he turns straight towards you with no hesitation. He has a sharp, screeching voice, not unlike a bird's cawing.
May the charge of the Omnissiah's mercy persist in the hands of the faithful.
May the motive force persist in their batteries. The Emperor protects. The man responds curtly, as if giving a military command.
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all.
The hallowed... Oops. Oh, good lord.
The hallowed electrodynamic Cenobium receives you, Pilgrim. I am Dar Impulse 6, a servant of the motive force and the Praetor Electrode of this sacred monastery.
Pascal bows down humbly before the man. A trill of binauric signals comes across his vox, to which Praetor responds with a gleam of solemn gesture of blessing. Pascal turns to you and says, "The rank of Praetor Electroid is a sign of high standing within the Electro-Priest fraternity. To have been granted an audience is a great honor." The Praetor Electroid looks at Kibella and gives a dignified nod.
You have brought an assassin. Good. She will find much work here. Are you ready for new toils, Blessed Slayer?
Always. Can it be any other way? Dar Impulse 6. It was you, was it not, that Logus Abel came seeking interpretation of his data trance?
Yes. Tech Brother Abel arrived here to engage in a magnetic meditation that would help clarify his visions. Unfortunately, the heretic machinations prevented us from completing the ritual. The esteemed Logus volunteered his help in defending the monastery, but contact with him was lost soon after.
I have rescued him from the insurgents.
I hope the Omnissiah preserves Tech Brother Abel's life, that he may continue to comprehend the mysteries he has tapped into.
I have a few questions about this place and the people in it.
Truth is like light, and blocking its path is criminal.
The Praetor Electroid nods majestically. Sorry guys, 1 second. Ooh, needed to whet my whistle. You are not like other members of the Deputus Mechanicus I have met.
Our faith imposes duty of obedience upon us. Every electro-priest is given numerous electus that combine in a blessed volcaized circuit, allowing feeble flesh to withstand the might of the motive force. That is why our skin glows with its light, and our eyes boil and melt when we are ordained. The Omnissiah's tears is what we call this phenomenon, this dying away of unworthy flesh. As we shun the layperson's primitive means of looking at the world, we gain the ability to sense the motive force around us with our entire bodies.
I understand everything. Question mark?
I am pleased to be the conductor of truth.
Why are you calling me Pilgrim?
Only those lay people who desire to experience the motive force are allowed to cross the monastery threshold. All others are profaners and criminals. You do not belong to the fraternity of electro-priests, but your intentions are good. If you are not seeking the Omnissiah's wisdom, then it was the motive force itself that brought you here to find it.
And what happened here, and how did you manage to survive?
When the heretics descended in droves upon the Cenobium, we gave battle. But the unholy foes buried the Omnissiah's warriors under a mass of their bodies, thus extinguishing the defender's sparks of purity. It was then that I ordered my few serving brethren to retreat into the monastery's secret chambers. About taking refuge here, we began to destroy the blasphemous intruders in surreptitious ways. Alas, as fiery as my brethren's anger was, I had no right to permit them to die in honest combat, for the task of taking back our abode still lay ahead of us.
I must commend you with the skill in which your secret chambers are concealed. You hear a tinge of wounded pride in Heinrich's words, as if he is upset about failing to discover the Electro-Priest shelter. Your choice of tactics was wise as well. There was no point in losing more lives in the massacre that the cultists wrought.
The leader of the heretics fought her way into the Ark wherein dwells the miraculous fusion reactor. She is trying to desecrate the rite of operation with her unholy litanies so that the relic may be corrupted and the world of Ricard Minoris may perish in a fount of fire. But my brethren in their magnetic meditation are hampering her efforts by chanting access request prayers in unison, thereby suppressing the commands that the blasphemers enter.
The Praetor Electroid nods towards his entranced comrades. This holy place will be protected. Sacrilegious practices, I swear it. You had made the right decision to choose to avoid combat and save yourselves.
Thank you, Pilgrim. It was not easy watching unholy intruders stampede through the chambers of my temple. We all envied our brethren who had fallen before that sacrilege had begun.
I wish to get to the holy reactor.
The Ark is hidden from pilgrims' eyes, but considering the extraordinary circumstances of your visit to this monastery, I grant you that right. The hall leads to the high reliquary has been barred by the enemy, but I will open a secret path for you. Enter the Ark and experience the motive force, pilgrim. We will pray to the security systems that they may refrain from punishing you for your intrusion.
Ooh, here we go. The time has come to prove your loyalty to the Omnissiah, Praetor. In the name of the God of humanity, strengthen my numbers with the faithful eager to fulfill their duty, so they may help me punish the blasphemers. The Praetor stays silent for a long time. Finally, he lets out a deep sigh.
Thank you, Pilgrim, for reminding me of our duty to humanity. I will send the Cenobium's warriors to your aid if that is what his warriors want me to do.
Wait, hey. We get 2 Electro Priests. Nice. Ooh, got a new buff. What is this? 10% armor. Very nice. Okay.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Ugh.
How intriguing.
Dude, I have like newfound respect for voice actors because that shit took a toll on my voice.
Woo! A lot of stuff here. It's very in the throat. Yes.
A quick save here. And then it's fuckery time. The face of the woman who stands before you is hidden behind a grotesque barred mask. The voice pouring out beneath it belongs to someone else. It is a husky, somber, brass voice of a void wolf, a border of ships. How predictable your path is, how static. All possible deaths you have skirted only to perish here in the fiery tempest that will mark the final dawn. Woman turns her mask to Pascal and gloats. You have arrived in time, little cog. The schismaticals, you use your regalia like a mask to subdue the reactor. Pascal's voice rasps musingly. A cog? I cannot comprehend why apostates try to insult me by comparing me to the sacred symbol of our faith. It is irrational. His visor lights up like a crimson herald of bloodshed, and his drilling mechadendrite whirs viciously as it readies to strike. The sacred cog grinds all corruption to dust. From dust I will build order. Woohoo! Pascal, announce my arrival. Pascal lets out an intimidating binotic trill and announces grimly, with the Omnissiah's blessing, the rogue trader von Valencius has come before the miraculous fusion reactor, seeking to perform purification and eradicate the corruption. All unauthorized persons are hereby ordered to lay down their arms and humbly accept their punishment. Humility is the lot of the weak. I am a harbinger of great changes and visions of great cataclysms to come, have incinerated what humility I had in my heart. The woman's voice breaks and shifts to a different pitch and timbre. A martyr's voice, a young, fervent, and in pain. Time has all but run out. I can hear the fist of the future knocking on the door of the present. Choose quickly what you want to be when it walks in. A blind slave to what is gone, a faithful servant of what is to come, or a corpse. I will take some time to wrest from you the details of this future that the cult prophesizes. Hopefully, when we're done here, what's left of you will still be capable of coherent speech. What you'll be living is a torch blazing for his glory. Argenta's voice burns with pure hatred and trembles with impatience to make the promise come true. Ah! Cassia squints and looks away. Yellows, reds, violets, oranges, blues, wild colors that scorch the eyes. But where the motley mask ends, nothing but a colorless void remains. Enough! I will rid Rykard Minoris of your tyranny. The woman's voice becomes thin, brittle like that of an innocent child. Execute them in the name of the Edge of Daybreak. The electro priests ripped their hands off the command panels, rending their flesh on stakes that pierced them. As their schismatical controlled bodies are imbued with the motive force's radiance, all the unfortunates can do is scream in horror and plead for a swift death. Aurora begins muttering an unholy litany in broken Gothic. You cannot make out her blasphemous words, but the name the heretic keeps repeating, the Edge of Daybreak, digs into your hearing like a blade into defenseless flesh. It sounds almost physically painful. It spawns strange and impossible phantoms in your mind. However, you manage to muster your strength and banish it from your mind. Okay. Alright, Pascal, we can choose, right? Okay, Pascal, I'm gonna have you up here. Kabbalah, darling, I will have you here. Cassia, you can take a position here. I will position here. Argenta will take up position here for now. And Heinrichs will also, be positioned here. Begin! We need to take out these electro priests as soon as possible. Cassia, darling, group them up for me, will you? You take position here. And fuck them up.
I'm not accustomed to...
Atta girl.
The shadows.
I'm a maiden.
Ay, Shamoy, really? Argenta! Fuck me sideways. God damn it. Heinrichs.
The Emperor is on our side.
Pascal stunned? Why?
Emperor, give me strength.
Oh, he can't get moved, can he? Oh, let's hit him with this. A bit of damage. Oh, she can't use her. Fuck. Never mind. Well, that was a wasted turn. No, are you serious? Oh, that sucks. Damn. At least I hit them too. Ooh, actually that did a chunk of damage for him. Maybe not so bad then.
As the tenants demand.
God, Emperor, move through me! Be the fire in my heart!
Can't hit anybody from there. Why did Pascal get stunned? I don't understand why that happened. As far as he can move.
Wait.
Killing brings me no pleasure.
Just to be on the safe side.
Wait. Enough!
Now an age-rattling voice speaks to you from behind the bloodstained mask.
You are powerless to halt the approach of what is to come. I see a crimson trail leading humanity to its doom, and I see the glow of the final dawn. That means existence has made its choice.
A dagger flashes in Aurora's hand. She drives in the control panel with all her strength.
Now you will see it too.
A blinding voltaic arc bursts from the broken control panel and strikes at Aurora's uncanny mask. Its metal heats up. Smoke billows through the bars. With a howl, the cultist collapses.
The light. It's gone. What was it? The final dawn? But why was it so different from what our teacher promised?
Aurora shakes her head blindly. Her voice is now the voice of an ordinary middle-aged woman, frightened and in pain.
You will pay for this. You will. You.
The woman's body goes limp and collapses to the floor. Her iron mask hits the ground with a dull thud. Pascal examines the corpse with contempt, then concludes dryly, confirming purgation and termination. Hendrix grimaces in disgust. The heretic took her secrets with her. Pity. The motley hues had rejected her, leaving only a greyish-green thread. The noose that the heretic put around her own neck. I've seen this many times before. No one can escape fear itself. Hendrix approaches Aurora's body and leans over it. A minute, please, Nero. I need no more than a minute. Inspect the control panel damaged by Aurora. The cogitator is probably well beyond repair, but your attention is drawn away from the sacred machine towards the dagger sticking out of the control panel. On closer inspection, it turns out to be lavishly decorated the handguard of a sword whose blade had been pried out. Its pommel is decorated with a strange adornment resembling an eye covered by a sacred lid. What remains of the blade has a blue sheen to it, the same tint as Kunrad's weapon during the mutiny on your void ship. This is no human-made object. It was grown from wraithbone, a material favored by the Eldari. As you lean over the shard, you suddenly hear a multitude of voices. They blend together, and individual words are distorted, as though they are mocking your attempts to grasp their meaning. The nagging whisper is like a burning red scratch of an unholy claw upon your mind. Hendrix, take a look over here. Is this by chance what you were looking for? Hendrix raises his head, gets up, and makes a wry face as he carefully examines Aurora's weapon. This unholy object is the work of inhuman hands. Judging by the cold, I am sensing it is a tool of the archenemy. I am most grateful for your vigilance, Nero. Hendrix takes the strange shard of the control panel and studies it for a few seconds. Curious. Hendrix stows the corrupted object away and turns to you. Rogue Trader, on behalf of the Holy Ordos, I thank you for your cooperation and release you from requisition. From this moment on, I am at your service. I'm ready to come aboard your ship and head for Footfall as you deem possible. That is, if we do not have other business in the system, in which case I'm prepared to assist you in this prompt resolution. Remove Aurora's mask. The iron helmet is firmly attached to the heretic's flesh. Her face is impossible to make out in the darkness behind the bars of her mask. After peering at it for a little while longer than necessary, you wonder if, for a moment, you saw something move. Let us finish cleansing the monastery, Pascal. Executing. Let the Omnissiah given motor force flow and all obstacles in its path be eradicated. Oh, Jesus. Right. Looting time.
They will see. Oh, yes. They all will see.
Oh, okay. Simple as that. Cool. Let's get the fuck up out of here.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Ooh, plasma pistol.
Rogue Trader. I was somewhat brusque at our first meeting, and I would like to make up for it by expressing my thanks for your assistance in the electrodynamic Cenobium. Your arrival could not have come at a better time. Thanks to you, I have succeeded in finding the object that brought me to this system in the first place. Now that the weapon of corruption has been seized from the cult, I can satisfy the Lord Inquisitor's wish and travel with you to Footfall, once you have finished your business on Rycat. There is one more thing. The Lord Inquisitor gave me this item some time ago. He must have thought it likely that I would find myself aboard this vessel sooner than he. I was instructed to deliver this device to Lady Theodora. However, given recent events, I believe I ought to present it to you. This is an elucidator, a sacred machine capable of translating the languages of remote and lost worlds into Low Gothic. It can even process Xenos languages to a certain degree. Not without infelicities, but possibly well.
Thank you. The Inquisition's generosity is greatly appreciated.
May the elucidator serve House von Valancius as faithfully as it has served the acolytes of the Holy Ordos up to now.
Hendrix cuts you a glance, one which you suddenly realize is charged with a strange, almost personal interest before deferentially averting his gaze.
Apologies in advance if I unknowingly violate the protocol for conversing with someone of your elevated status. I think a slip in composure is to be expected when one is hosted personally in the Lord Captain's study.
What do you plan to do now?
I would like to offer my assistance in resolving your immediate problems. I am aware that the ship suffered considerable losses during the recent mutiny and was damaged by the cultists' actions, and you have lost many valuable officers as well. You are in a difficult situation. I am at your disposal.
What do you think will become of the electrodynamic Cenobium?
It all depends on the electro-priests who survived the attack. Fortunately for them, the cultists did not manage to seriously corrupt the holy site, partly thanks to the priesthood's efforts. Nevertheless, I would not be surprised if the local explorator fleet decides to audit and purge the damaged units once it hears about what has happened.
Right. I must return to my duties. Hendrix is about to say something else when he's interrupted by the sound of a vox signal. Someone's trying to contact you.
Thank you for your time. Please consider me at your complete disposal while I am aboard your vessel.
Congratulations on the victory, your lordship. The entire vessel was impatiently awaiting the news of your expedition's success. The rumors about you simply not saving the Secretary's monastery, but actually eliminating the source of the mutiny, are spreading like wildfire. Vox transmissions from across the world speak of nothing else. Governor Medina is expecting you at his command center to discuss matters. We are ready to depart immediately. Just give the order. A shoddy crystal and the Wraith of Saint Drusus. I will ablush. Finish your ablutions. Do we have the buff? Well rested, well deserved rest. Perfect. So yeah, always get that buff whenever you can. When you're in the ship before you head on a mission, take a bath. You'll feel better. Yes, perfection. My face. To the bridge. To the sweat dripped down my balls. Anybody to talk to actually while we're here? Let's see. Abelard?
Lord Captain?
No. So no one will have anything.
Captain.
No one's going to have anything of interest to say for the moment. Right.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Greetings, your lordship. There's the governor in a dismissal voice, glancing directly at Solomon. I can't express how grateful I am for your help. Now that the insidious heretics' designs have been thwarted, nothing stands in the way of my plans or yours. With Aurora dead, the dead spirit revolting is waning. Entire squads of rebels are surrendering. We are witnessing the final days of the uprising. I've already signed the order to allocate 2,000 first-class Voidfarers to you. The transfer to your ship should begin any minute now. I would also like to salute to the savior of Rykard Minoris and already given the order for celebration to be held in your honor. We will mark your victory with an ancient custom, the Triumph. You will drive to the city streets accompanied by a guard of honor, as befits a hero who has vanquished the Imperium's enemies. While your trophies will be displayed to the jubilant crowds. Let me know once you have concluded your business in the system and ready for the Triumph to begin. Governor Medina is positively ablaze with enthusiasm. In regards to your own past participation in the Triumph, Governor, you will accompany us to the starport, provide timely answers to any questions that may occur to me as I inspect the terminal there. With that being said, you should appear before your subjects at least once before the end of the ceremony. Doing so will help maintain order. There's no reason to let people know that the world may soon be in a change of leadership. I'm ready for my Triumph. Then I will see you at the starport, my lord. The Master of Ceremonies will organize a procession in a way that will allow me to share the ceremony's finale with you. After that, Emperor willing, the Proctor will clear me of all charges and the woes of Rykard Minoris will be over at last. Sweet, sweet, sweet victory. I need to reorganize my formation. Oh. Much better. Your Lordship, Peerless Lord von Valancius. I am the Master of Ceremonies of Rykard Minoris. Everything is in place for your triumph. Allow me to give you a brief summary of the upcoming event. Speak. You will take road now familiar to you, from here to the starport. You will be accompanied by your comrades in arms and a guard of honor. The body of the heretic known as the Prophet Aurora will be pulled in your wake as a battle trophy. A stop is planned in the middle of the road. There, grateful citizens will rush towards you, praising you for their salvation. Not to worry, this is a thoroughly choreographed interlude. The group of grateful people will be composed exclusively of loyal citizens vetted by us, members of the military, young people, attractive and physically fit, and a few healthy children. Once they have said their praise, the procession will move on. Governor Medine will await you by the starport. It is also where the pyre has been built for the burning of the body of the heretic known as Aurora. You will be handed a flamer blessed by the representative of the ecclesiarchy. You can choose to personally perform the burning, but if you wish to underscore the amicable alliance between House von Valancius and House Winterscale, it will be fitting to pass the honor of the burning to Governor Medine. However, the choice is yours. This is disgusting. I do not want a stage show of gratitude. Allow the ordinary people of Rykard Minoris to speak with me, or skip this farce altogether. Nah, fuck it. An excellent plan. Start the triumph. Of course, Your Lordship. And we get to board
one step at a time.
A freaking Lehman Russ tank. Surrounded by evil, repelling emblems, Aurora's corpse looks like a tiny island of gloom in glorious ocean of your impending triumph. The governor's people must have put a lot of work into protecting the body from decay, as well as sawing off the grim, iron-faced mask. The dead prophet has the wary, unremarkable face of an utterly nondescript commoner. The one aberration of her appearance is the many small mouths on her cheeks and forehead. They have been painstakingly sewn shut with a thick thread of plastered-over layer of face powder. The cosmetics transform the heretic's face into an eerie mask. The corner of her mouth is frozen in a hint of a grin, wryly mirrored by her lesser mouths. Are you pleased, enemy mine? The grin seems to ask. I will hunt down all of your accomplices, wherever they may be, and they will follow you into the fire. Not a sound comes in response, but as soon as you blink, the corner of the corpse's mouth seems to move upward by a hair's breadth. Or is it just your imagination? Lehman Russ time, baby! Make way, let us greet the hero. A small group of festively dressed people rushes towards you. Glory to the von Valancius dynasty. Glory to Nero, a hero of Rykard Minoris. A stately, beautiful, and finely dressed woman calls out your name in a sonorous voice. It isn't until you take a closer look at her face that you recognize her as Captain Raquel, the pilot you met on Rykard Ephilia. The grateful citizens wish to present gifts to their redeemer. The master of ceremonies' sugary voice almost brings a taste of honey to your mouth. For whatever reason, you know for certain that right at this moment, the gaze of Aurora's dead, empty sockets is fixed on the back of your head. A thought surfaces in your mind, not a voice inside your head, no, a mere thought. They are all going to die, befuddled, deprived, never having seen the truth. And it is all because of you, enemy mine. Stop the ceremony. Take the people away. Something terrible is about to happen. Soldiers in the cordon exchange perplexed glances, but their trained discipline prevails, and they turn toward the spectators prepared to lead the crowd away. I am sensing something. Boundless, blue, golden, dark. Something is coming, Domin. an unholy death contrary to his will. Jabella's eyes are blank as she digs a steel claw into an unhealed wound. Behold, behold, behold the final dawn. How the fuck did they destroy Lehman Russ?
What an amusing attempt at defiance.
The Masters demand your death!
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
In a week.
Another one is shattered.
High momentum.
Follow my lead!
Really, Argento? Hey. wonder if she'll get across the entire map. Let's see. Off you go.
Undying Emperor whispers his will.
Oh, really? Man.
Shall not.
Yeah, Cabela's OP as fuck.
Moving out. Onward.
Break their morale.
Don't shoot me, please. Okay.
I'm a member.
Group up for me, please. And, fuck you. You. Come hither. Oh. You're strong of will. We're not strong enough. Get fucked. Bitch. Oh, oh, this grouping is almost perfect. God damn. Fuck him up, Cabela. Bang, cultist. Who else is there? It's you guys, yeah. Bad day? Sucks to be you. Ah, damn, I thought I had more. Fuck it. Very excessive, but fuck you!
Schemes within schemes.
I'll just be the 4 that Cabela can deal with. Raquel, I don't want you to die, please. Cabela's next enemy, so fuck it, we'll just send her in. Damn shame.
Flesh is weak, yet iron knows no pain.
Death to the heretics!
The combi comes alive. Victus's voice struggles to get through the thundering static. Lord Kane, this is Master. Please, immediately say. We are en route to Starport. First, repeat. Otherworldly cacophony, which is now resembled by the rumbling of distant cannons, suddenly swallows you with its full intensity. The warp energy seemingly bursting out of thin air, rush inside your exposed mind like an unstoppable wave of filth. For a moment, it feels like your head might explode, but then the sensation retreats, leaving in its wake a different one, that of someone's touch on your temples. I shall fear no darkness, for the light is within me, the light of my faith in thee. I shall flee before no enemy, for there is no enemy more terrible than cowardice, and I shall overpower it. Magenta prays aloud while all the while checking her equipment with deft fingers. Kibela gives you a faint smile and whispers, "A great dance begins. But I'm still with you, Domin. Fear not, for I will not let your soul fall into the clutches of the unclean. If it comes to it, I will be quicker than them." Red, black, and lots of blinding white fear. The whole city's quaking. No, the whole world. Let's talk more action. What's Victus saying, Lord Captain? Are they going to send a shuttle for us? Victus, what is going on? Stop. The calm falls silent. Many eyes staring at you. We're not abandoning the people in distress. Everyone can come with us. Jasper and I must get weapons. Any weapons. We'll catch up with you at the starport. Might even pick up some people from the garrison or civilians along the way. A sense of alarm is now almost physically drilling through your temples. The fleeting little whispers at the edge of your mind hearing are sinister and gleeful. That's it. Let's move out. But first, we level up. Hmm. Let's roll. Ugh.
The glow of emergency beacons in the darkness is my baby.
Fucking hell. Was not ready for that.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
What the fuck? Where is he going? You're having a laugh. Oh my god. You have got to be pulling on my leg.
The order is contrary to dogmatic protocols.
Death to non-believers!
Argenta, my love, you are fucking up.
The Emperor commands I act.
Chaos guides me.
High momentum.
Indeed.
A dance of blades and shadows. Come, the other side awaits.
Ah, really?
A wicked thought.
I'll do it.
I will do my duty.
Two people left.
Fate claims another one.
Yeah, get fucked, you bitches.
Patience? My nerves are frayed.
The anarchy at the starport will distress the hallowed machine spirits of the Voidcraft, rendering them deaf to all litanies of placation. The shuttle we use for the evacuation must be handled with caution.
With all due respect to your faith, Haneman, if we
Haneman.
working shuttle, we will worry about restoring the machine spirit equilibrium once we're back on board our ship.
A Naaman. That's what I gotta remember that.
Another annoyance.
For the Emperor!
navigator, not a servitor.
Jesus. Really? Keep burning, you slut. Get him, Solomon! Heavy stubber.
Weapon at the ready. Break them around. Unpleasant. Follow my lead. Enter this. High momentum.
Gotta love friendly fire. From the enemy side, of course.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
Now, are you gonna shoot straight? Hey, shamoy.
Forward. Didn't see that one coming, did you?
Really?
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
My faith strengthens me.
This. Poised for action. You really are outmatched.
Sloan's chestplate is punctured in multiple places and his face stained with blood, but his gaze remains clear and firm. Still alive, lobe trader. Good. You spot just as many wounds on Glato. There are burns and cuts all over the coat, and one of the visors is broken. And yet, there is nothing inside a massive straight posture that would indicate pain. If pain is even something the dog can feel. Those wounds look bad. Let me offer you first aid. I would have accepted your offer, but we still have Medicaid kits. Not many. We shall last until we get to the shuttles, which is all we need. What is happening in the starport? Panic and heresy. The people are ready to crush each other to the shuttles, which makes them easier targets for the enemy. Where's the governor? I do not know. He waited for you under RBT's escort to burn the heretic's body and conclude the ceremony. But when the sun went out and the enemies came at us from every crack in the rockcrete, he panicked and ran. Not the smartest choice. He would have been safer with us. Yeah, it appears your investigation has hit a dead end. Not yet, it hasn't. A crooked smile crosses his face. We did find something at the port terminal. Shortly after the tide was hauled away, a suspicious ship took off from the planet. And I already know how to track it down. I see you're not trying to flee and have chosen to fight instead. I commend your resolve. Actually, our plan is to retreat. The rebels are one thing, but there's nothing we can do against the warp forcing its way in, and that's a fact. Solomon spits out a mouthful of blood. This battle was forced upon us. We had to keep the heretics away from the terminal until the machine spirits finished transferring the data to our shuttle. Speaking of shuttles, the ship we hired has turned tail and left orbit. So I must turn to you with a request. Take my squad aboard, and we will disembark on the first World War station with access to a void ship. We cannot die here, while whoever stole the tithe is enjoying their freedom. I will consider it an honor to assist you. We need time to dress our wounds and regroup. We will cover your retreat to make sure there's no attack from the rear. Get to the shuttle first. We'll be right behind you. Ooh, hotshot last pistol. Reserve pattern sword. Nah. Okay. Black armor. Sniper rifle. Knife or rifle. I believe that's all the loot we can get here. Oop. Missed one.
They will see. Oh, yes, indeed. They all will see.
Ooh, interesting. You like a good bit of plasma, won't lie. What's in here?
One step at a time amidst the madness.
The stench of Physaline and blood blankets the starport. Echoes of shouts and gunfire drift over the landing pads. The shards of plexiglass crunch underfoot. You recognize Sergeant Malgar amid the crowd huddled next to more shuttles. He was the soldier who greeted your arrival on Rykard Minoris. A group of bloodied and frightened people is wedged between Malgar's wardens and the shuttles. You recognize the governor of the planet and the members of his high-ranking entourage. Their expensive attire has been torn in the fight and many bear wounds left by bayonets. Examine the people. Some of the nobles are paralyzed with fear, others have succumbed to despair. 2 corpses are lying on the ground with their arms outstretched. Black blood is pooled under one of them. The other skull has been split open like a nut, encircled by pinkish crimson halo of bone splinters and bits of brain matter. Sergeant Malga, I demand immediate report. What is going on here? Sergeant spins around to face you, his face twisted in a grimace of anger. Our esteemed governor and his gang of cronies have been cowering behind us, and now, when things got rough, they thought they could scamper and leave us here to die. We've shed our blood for him and broken our backs to provide for him. After all this, you think that's fair, you piece of grok shit? Malga's stunned baton hits the governor in the chest, causing the adornments in the governor's uniform to jingle in unison. The governor spits out blood and opens his mouth to respond when his head explodes. His body falls limp to the side, his remaining eye staring upward. The chorus of nobles' screams cannot drown out the sergeant's spiteful whisper. Enough! You've said your piece. For generations upon generations, nobles of this world care for Rykard Minoris and ensure the prosperity of its inhabitants. And this is your gratitude, peasant? For killing a nobleman, you deserve to be executed where you stand. Cassia throws out a hand and Malga's knees buckle. My mentor was right. The rabble truly have no honor. Malga looks at the governor's body, his brow furrowed. Madness. Punishable by death. Look at yourself, servant of the God Emperor. Whom do you serve? Humanity or its foes? How dare you speak of justice with kindred blood in your hand? Lower your weapon if you value your soul. Malga raises his gun at you, only to immediately lower it. His hands are shaking. Shame and despair are showing through his mask of bloodlust. For crying out loud, your lordship! Sir, how could you say such a thing? A dull thud comes from deep within the starport. Heavy footsteps shake the rockcrete, raising an unpleasant tremor in your bones. World Eater Space Marine.
Trust me.
I should have used that first.
Make it quick!
Go a double burn. They gotta make sure you keep burning.
Weapon at the ready.
Chaos Astartes.
Lesson learned.
High momentum.
Fuck him up. Let's go.
High momentum.
Can she get at them? I think she can.
As honor ordains.
Heavy is the tread of his faithful.
Son of a bitch.
What torments you?
Oh, he just burned to death. Okay, cool.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Let's quickly level everybody up. Get the fuck up out of here. Thanks be to the Emperor you are alive, your lordship. We are most gratified by your return. The crew is full of zeal to carry out any orders you may have. Before anything else, I will hear an account of what happened to the System's son. The Vox Master falters. Lord Captain, we saw a number of ships approach the sun. Black creations of inhuman make, amalgams of sharp angles and edges. They surrounded the stars and then... my apologies, but I struggle to find the words that what could describe such a terrible sight. The Xenos made the sun vanish into the void. Interrogator closes his eyes and grimaces. Drukhari. You see Abelard's expression change as if a shadow has suddenly fallen over him. He rubs his temple wearily. As if we did not have enough troubles on our hands already. Xenos? The enemies of humanity? Heinrichs nods. A breed of the Eldari, the most cruel and devious of their kind. The design of their ships matched the description provided by the Vox Master. Like all Xenos, the Drukhari are a blight on the face of the galaxy, but their technological superiority is indisputable. They abhor and fear warp sorcery, which is why they rely on creations of their twisted intellect, and many of those creations are capable of things that may seem akin to sorcery to the unenlightened eye. The theft of a sun is one example of what they are capable of. Enough. We have more pressing matters to deal with. Hendricks nods, his face frozen in gloomy expression. What's the current situation on board? The Navigator's sanctum is no longer empty, but the warp engine is still refusing to obey the engine seers. Without it, we cannot perform a warp jump. Pascal's voice buzzes anxiously from his Vox. It may be angry, or perhaps it is lamenting the injuries it has suffered. I will immediately initiate preparations for a prayer service. If the Omnissiah grants me comprehension, I will appease the machine spirit of this vessel. What is happening on the planet right now? Our augur operators are reporting numerous uprisings and other manifestations of the arch-enemy's powers at various locations on the planet. Based on the fragments of communication picked up by our Vox operators, there's practically no resistance being offered by the Governor's forces. Millions of people are converting to blasphemous Final Dawn cult en masse and assembling in prayer circles. Do we have any hope of retaking the planet? I fear the Rekha Minoris is lost. The situation is deteriorating by the minute. We must leave the system as soon as possible. However, there are still people on the planet who may not succumb to heresy who are worthy of rescue. Besides a small number of our own shuttles, we also have shuttles salvaged from the starport. The dark eyes of the Sister of Battle flash. We must save as many as we can. This all happened for a reason. Saint Argenta, whose name I carry with reverence and trepidation, is famed for saving people of a dying world through the power of prayer. The God Emperor himself sent a star from the heavens that lifted the saint and our followers to the sky, away from corruption and death. We must do as she did, direct all our efforts to saving those people who at the moment look to the heavens in hope of salvation. The lives of the peasants are of little value. Our prime objective is to save the holy relic, the miraculous fusion reactor, and let the priests who guard and tend to it. Abelard furrows his brow. Every moment we spend in proximity to a dying world, we're putting ourselves at risk. Your life, Lord Captain, is far more valuable than all of Rykard Minoris. The Von Valensis dynasty cannot be allowed to perish, and so lamentable though it is, we must rule out the idea of any evacuation. Heinrich's eyes, like two deep dark pools, are resolutely fixed on you. The world is doomed, and as it happens along with it. The disappearance of the star was the final nudge towards death, the finale of the cult of the Final Dawn's plans. I once witnessed a similar event, a world that has surrendered to the servants of the arch-enemy and permitted corruption to enter too deep. At this moment, millions of peoples are bowing down before those who promise them salvation, and they are willingly giving their souls over to chaos. A great sacrifice is enough to bring forth a demon world. Our only hope of stopping this process is to retreat to a safe distance from the planet and conduct targeted bombing on the Electro Priest Monastery. If we blow up the reactor, the thermonuclear reaction will follow. The world's oxygen will evaporate, killing off the entire biosphere. In doing so, we will save millions of souls from a fate far worse than death. we will save Rykard Minoris from becoming an outpost of the archenemy. Only death can rescue these people. The Undying One has reached out his hand to this world, time for him to reap his harvest. We must not reject his design, lest millions of names never reach him and shall perish in the depths of the Imperium. Death is a mercy, Domin Nero. Whatever fate you choose for this world, I urge you to make haste, Lord Captain. The planet is burning and raging flashes of crimson and purple. I can see it from orbit, and I do see that the storm is already upon us. With every moment that we waste, it grows more difficult and perilous to steer the ship through the warp's turbulent currents. I am with the lady on this. Enough talking. We need to get out of here while we still can. So Outer will cause and carry out an orbital strike on the Electro Priest Monastery. Rykard Minoris must fall. Yes, Lord Captain. I will immediately inform the navigation and artillery decks of the impending maneuver. Hendricks inclines his head. The right choice, Lord Captain. May the sacred exterminatus cleanse the veil of corruption. Exterminatus! The bridge is in upheaval. The technomats' prayers mix together in senseless cacophony, while servitors work hastily to remove a hardened crust of sacred unguents from the Rap Engine's components. In the middle of all this tumult stands Pascal, a data slate clutched in his hand, seemingly disconnected from the flurry of activity around him. Magos, why don't you assume control of the technomats? Surely their contribution will speed things up. It will only be a hindrance. I am searching for a way to rectify the error. Pascal is muttering without taking his eyes off the data slate. There's a certain anxiousness to the way he moves. His mechadendrites. Pascal, this is now your ship and your temple. Start acting like it, you blasted cog. Pascal shoots you a look of fierce pride and says with gravity, "You are right. This is my temple." His vox booms with power. "Temp comrades, heed my instruction." The mayhem immediately subsides. The crew actions fall into some indiscernible logic. The Omnissiah's servants start working in sync, and the binary clamor becomes a symphony of reports, while the Magos coordinates a skillful conductor. Admirably done, Pascal. The Omnissiah guides me. The prayers of the tech priests surrounding the cogitator almost drown out the sounds of the bustling bridge behind you. Pascal, poring intently over the data slate in his hands, extends a mechadendrite towards you. "Please, take your place at the cogitator, Captain." Step over the cogitator. The huge machine in front of you is lit with dozens of vid screens and hundreds of lumens. The blinking lights and endless rush of symbols and digits on the green background make your eyes water. A vague sense of alarm simmers in the depths of your mind, the typical reaction of a layperson when confronted with the magnitude of the Omnissiah's creation. Among the numerous controls, you see the mouth of a saber gargoyle, same as the gate to the Warren Chamber. Pascal's voice becomes imbued with imperious force. "Servants of the machine god, heed my command. Acolytes, prepare for the incense instrumentation for the liturgy of the machine spirit propitiation. Senior technomats, recite the prayer to generate a current data report. Operations will be marked with the capitological protocol Omnissiah Rejoice. I must inform you, for the purposes of safety, complete reassembly of the warp sextant and updating its data smith blessings are required. If this is not done, then at launch of the volume of aggregate calculum, errors could result in the destruction of the data crypts. But as we do not have 100 hours at our disposal, we must omit this procedure." Pascal looks down at the data slate in his hands. "A minor deviation from the right of operation for the sake of appeasing the spirit." "What must I do?" "Place your hands at the throat of the cogitator guardian, the cyber gargoyle which has been assigned to guard the forbidden data crypts. The dynastic blood extracted from your veins will serve as a key to the data core where the machine spirit dwells. To it, we will offer our prayers so that we may bypass protective protocol for defective connections and launch warp sextant." Pascal's voice was quieter. "The laws of the Omnissiah know no exceptions, and in this ritual, I will remain at your side to placate the wrathful machine spirit, whose abode you will be intruding. Follow my liturgies, Lord Captain, and we may receive his blessing." Place your hand in the cyber gargoyle's mouth. The metal jaw clamps on your hand, breaking your delicate corporeal sheath and releasing warm red liquid into its gullet. At the same moment, the image of the vid screen before you changes. Connecting 000-.1, connecting 000.2, connecting 000.3, success register, success reg 789.0344, access net ID 8627. Dom Os Operate, respect, ACT. Reach out and touch the keys on the instrument panel. Input, pack comp, nomos, stab, true. Log strength check, init. Sector 567 greater than 245 dam. Sector 244 greater than 001 stab. Nomos, operate, respect, act. Lord Captain, Pascal stops and then continues more calmly. Please, you will angle the machine spirit before we remove the restriction. Gesture at the windscreen. What does it all mean? The sound of your voice, the cogitator's servant, the bronze-bound skeleton built to the cogitator housing shudders. With a screech, his skull rotates towards you and then stops in that position. Benevolent code of a voice receptor. Pascal emits a sequence of binaural signals and then silent for several seconds. I hypothesize that the defect is located in the analyzer block. I register a reaction to the signal, but no processed response. A temporary override is permissible. The Magos intently studies the vid screen. The shell was created on a forge world unknown to me, initiating standard invocation of the machine spirit. Pascal leans over the adjacent instrument panel and sets his hands on the controls. At the same time, a quiet stream of machine code begins pouring forth from his vox. What should I do now? Lord Captain, I now ask that you address the machine spirit. Speak the following command. By my authority, I revoke the inviolability protocol of the warp engine. The voice receptor will receive the vocal entry without your sanction. The machine spirit will not accept the data from the warp sextant. By my authority, I revoke the inviolability protocol of the warp engine. One of the cogitator screens turns red. Pascal sees this and raises his hand, studies the rest of the tech priests, then withdraws the connector from his sleeve and connects to the machine spirit. Servants of the Omnissiah, make now the offering of cleansed data crypts to the machine spirit so that it may be filled with their truth-calibrated data. May the Omnissiah have mercy on our souls. In meek solemnity, the acolytes offer up cleansed data crypts to the warp engine one after another, repeating prayers of exaltation. After anointing the contacts with sacred unguents, Pascal inserts them in the cogitator slots. The head begins to spin from the holy censer's foul-smelling smoke, and from the loss of blood the Sabagogle continues to drink from you. The world swims before your eyes. Let this mechanism awaken in renewed purity. Pascal enters a sequence of commands and raises his head, watching windscreen. Suddenly, he stops dead. No. His fingers fly over the command runes, entering command after command. His mechadendrites clicking their pincers pull at lever after another. Windscreens filled with strings of symbols completely incomprehensible to you, but clearly conveying something to the Magos. Say nothing and do not interfere. After a few seconds, one of the data crypts mounted on the cogitator begins to emit sparks. A moment later, another data crypt does the same. The next bursts into flame and giving off foul-smelling smoke. Around the Omnissiah servants break off from their prayers, and someone bursts into frantic pleading. Pascal mournfully grates out. The mass of errors in the warp sextant's calculations destroying the data repositories. Offering did not appease the machine's ship spirit. The warp engine cannot be filled with the motive force. We are trapped. A moment later, the Magos continues uncertainly. Perhaps an alternative Ryzen protocol, or an emergency launch of the auxiliary coils. The tech priest bends over the cogitator, but something in his pose and movements reveals his desperation. While the other vid screens are filled with more strings of symbols, the monitor in front of you blinks, its static images changes. Pascal is too engrossed in the ritual to notice. Read the information on the vid screen. Input, back comp, nomos, stab, true, nomos, stab, false, stat, int, check. Perturb, reg, disturb, reg, nomos, operating, distinct, query. Machine spirit, can you hear me? The cogitator servant creaks quietly in his joints, a sound that is drowned out by the binaric hymns and the tapping of command runes. Input prompt, nomos, ping, nomos, rec, esp, romos, operate, resp, injury, nomos, respirate, rescue, nomos, operate, resp, query. Rescue, yes, machine spirit, rescue us. Pascal turns to you. Lord Captain, the excessive motion in your command will render it unintelligible to... Pascal's next vocalization goes unsynthesized as he sees the vid screens begin to stabilize one after the other. The strings frenetically gallop along the screen. Green background are replaced with stable images or regularly updating status reports. Only one monitor remains inexplicably red. Jeffrey's voice crackles in shock, but his report is as clipped as clinical as ever. Registering, warp sextant activated, registering, data stream stabilizing, registering, 0 data errors found, reporting, warp engine is ready for translation. After a pause, Pascal adds, I'm also reporting evidence indicating a Category 3 miracle fulfilling the criterion, thou shalt witness the mechanism that toils in glorification of its function and in defiance of deactivation. Lord Captain, Revor here. The crew are almost finished up carrying out the orders earlier. I've received confirmation that the engineering halls, I don't know what you did, but the warp engine's up and ready to go. We're ready to begin the translation to warp, your lordship. Lord Captain speaking. Give the order to commence translation to the warp. We're going to ascend the captain's throne, Lord Captain. May the Emperor protect us. As we commit Exterminatus. And get the fuck up out of here.
Von Valancia's flagship made its way out of the doomed star system. As the void ships plunged deeper into the Coronis expanse, the rogue trader's subjects bid a formal farewell to the late head of the dynasty, Theodora von Valancius. Having paid their last respects, the crew gathered their strength and braced themselves for whatever was to come next.
Lord Captain, allow me to report. Our journey to the warp is coming to an end. Lady Navigator or Celio informs you that we have reached the point where we can translate to real space in the Farabundus system. Lady Navigator and our pilots are awaiting your permission to begin the process. The Farabundus system is home to Footfall, the only Imperium outpost with a functioning wharf in the Coronis expanse. Tech priests are begging you to have mercy on the machines worn down by the warp and allow the souls of the Omnicide to inspect and heal the void ship's wounds on the dock. The prayers and rituals will take time, which our astropathic choir will use to establish connection to the prime worlds of your protectorate, Dargonis, Janus, and Kiabagama. Master Zachary Weiss has recovered an invitation previously adrift in the Imperium. The Liege of Footfall has humbly requested an audience with the rogue trader of the Von Valancius dynasty. According to Master Zachary, the message was tinted with shades of pleading. I quote, apparently, the Liege is anxious to meet as soon as possible. Footfall, the place where filth and sanctity go hand in hand. Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso will likely expect a visit from me. I imagine he'll be interested in talking to you as well, Nero. I will be leaving your void ship when we arrive on Footfall, Nero. Once that is done, consider Lord Inquisitor's task complete. Your Lordship, young Yvain Winterscale has asked me to convey his gratitude for your hospitality and for saving him from certain death. Not wishing to outstay his welcome, he plans to disembark on Footfall. Lord Yvain swears he will not forget his debt to you. I hereby inform the rogue trader that during comprehensive system inspection right, this unit discovered data clusters with the captain's cogitator that are concealed from prying eyes by means of personal cipher and a sacrament of algorithmic authorization. Unit Nero von Valancius has been added to the access list and assigned Identifier Keeper 2. The unit can access the data from the captain's cogitator provided that he possesses the decryption key. You detect a hint of something resembling curiosity in Pascal's mechanical voice. Thank you once again for rescuing my squad, rogue trader. We will disembark on Footfall. The trail of evidence leads to the docks. I wouldn't hurt to pay the Liege a visit. I'm sure he'll graciously extend his cooperation to the RBTs. The Lady Navigator, I give her leave to make the translation from the warp to real space. I would normally go through all of these things, but I've already played them through, and I don't want. My voice is starting to fucking go. Victus begins issuing instructions. The massive ship appears to change with her every word. The bridge is set in motion as hundreds of people start to prepare for the shift into real space. The measured chanting fills the corridors to safeguard the vessel and its crew. Victus turns to you again. One more thing, Lord Captain. No one at the station knows about Lady Theodore's demise, and you inheriting the title. Liege Takara will be informed as required so that we can use the dock, and besides, he is expecting a personal audience with the rogue trader. He will not meet with an unknown person of unclear standing. However, there is still the matter of announcing your arrival. You can arrive on the station with the proper pomp and ceremony, or choose to visit incognito. I have decided that the Liege will officially arrive as the rogue trader. It will be done, your Lord Captain. Victus bows again. With your gracious permission, I will return to my duties. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else, thank you guys all so much for watching this stream. 4 hours, and my God, my throat is starting to hurt. Like I can feel the beginnings of like a bit of soreness there. That said, though, I hope you guys enjoyed the performance. I did my best to try and be as, what's someone looking for? As changeable as possible. You know, sometimes some voices are real taxing on the throat. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. And thank you guys all so much for watching. We will come back to this, of course, again. And I will catch you guys all in the next stream. So come back next time. So from me to you guys, until then, peace out.